What's going on, guys? Rachel West here with Rick Stroud in this lovely Florida weather. It's pouring, just started pouring down rain on us, Rick, so we moved undercover. But we got the Atlanta Falcons in town later on today, Rick. Week one, the Bucs picked up the W, barely. There were definitely some things to clean up. What are some of those things that they've been working on throughout practice this week and that they're hoping to be able to clean up going into the game later today?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fairly simple. You know, they turned the ball over 4 times, and it's rare that you would be a -3 in turnovers and win a football game. And so, obviously, ball security. You saw both running backs put the ball on the ground. Ronald Jones got benched after his fumble. Leonard Fournette didn't come out of the game, but he absolutely batted a pass up in the air. So you got to cut down on those because that stops your momentum, obviously. And then the penalties, which was something that they didn't really have a problem since week 5 of last year, and they had 11 for 110 yards. So, those are the things that you can control. I think some of it was, first game, not just jitters necessarily, but guys playing a whole game, and so they're going to make mistakes. But if you can just control that, everything else I think will take care of itself. And even though this will be, not as easy as you might think, even though they're like 12-point favorites, the Atlanta Falcons are, week 1 is a liar in the NFL, so be careful about that.
Right, can't always put too much stock in that first week there. And as we've said, they're playing the Falcons, who last year when they played them for the first time, that was really a major turning point in their season, being down 17-0 at halftime and then coming out of that locker room and really never looked back from there.
Yeah, it really was. And we talked to a lot of guys about that this week. And I can remember, after the bye week, they played Minnesota. They won the game. They didn't play particularly well. Minnesota missed some field goals. And then they're down 17-0 to the Falcons. And look, if they lose that game, they're in danger of not making the playoffs. And they went into halftime, and there's the famous story of Jason Pierre-Paul just going nuts on the entire team. And Tom Brady calming people down and saying, look, we got to score on every single possession. And they went out there and they practically did that. He threw 5 touchdown passes in the second half, and they attacked. When you talk to Bruce Arians, he says, we got into attack mode. We haven't stopped since. And so I think it was a turning point of their season and something that they can, they don't want to look back to last year. The Super Bowl's over and all of that. But it really was a big turning point in their year.
Yeah, I mean, if Jason Pierre-Paul's getting in my face saying, let's go, I think I'm going. That's definitely some good motivation there. Yeah. And now, specifically looking into some of the key guys on the Falcons roster. I mean, Matt Ryan's very stable back there. They got Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts. Yeah. Who are some of the key guys that they really need to zone in on? Yeah,
well, I mean, those 3 guys, and they also have another receiver engaged. And let's just look at what happened to Calvin Ridley a year ago. In that 17-0 lead when they played him the first time, he turned around Sean Murphy-Bunting 3 or 4 times, and Matt Ryan was bombing the ball out there. This week, there's no Sean Murphy-Bunting. They're going to have, some guys step up in the secondary. There's going to have to stop in there and play that. Kyle Pitts is a matchup nightmare. I mean, the guy was terrific at Florida. Didn't have a great game the first week, but I expect him to be a handful. And they got a new defense too, and a new defensive coordinator in Pease who worked at New England. He knows Tom Brady very well. It's a 3-4 defense. It's not what we're used to seeing from the Falcons. They can come pressure packages anywhere they want to. So this will not, as they say in the NFL, there are no easy games, right? This will be another one. And they play in the NFC South. They play each other twice a year, so they're very familiar with the Bucs and the players they're going to face in this game.
Yeah, well, it'll be a good one for sure. The Falcons always play them tight. So we'll see how it goes later on today. Guys, make sure you're keeping up with all of our coverage of the game. Make sure you're checking us out on social media, as well as all the coverage we've always got for you over at tampabay.com.